Alright. It is the season to drink eggnog. La 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 la. Cookies are in the oven. Eggnog. The night eggnog on Christmas, right, Trey? Oh, hi! Didn't realize I had a guess. You're here to watch a Christmas video from good old Scotty, huh? Well, let's see what we got under the old tree here. Kiss goodnight. Already did that. Christmas vacation. Already did that. Jack Frost. I'll get to those. What do we have here? Okay. Good old Jingle All the Way. With Arnold Schwarzenegger. Sure, we'll talk about that. Shit, you. Sorry. You dropped me. I'm sorry. Okay. Alright, so talk about Jingle All the Way. Starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad. This is a film I like watching every year. It's fun. It's an enjoyable romp. It's a fun, enjoyable romp with Arnold Schwarzenegger playing the typical neglective father with an unnecessary climax at the end that really does come out of nowhere, and the terrible acting of Jake Lloyd. You an angel? Shut up! Along with good performances from Phil Hartman. And yes, even Arnold and Sinbad get some good scenes in there. Ta-ta, Turtle Man. Even though that's part of the unnecessary climax. So the story revolves around the character of Howard, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger. A father who, he's one of those neglected fathers, like Hook, and other movies from that time. You have a neglected father who promises his kid something. He's not able to do it, but by the end of the film, he does something that makes it up to him, and blah, 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 blah. You know the story. And that's one of these. He talks to his son Jamie because he misses his karate class, so Arnold puts the black belt over his head, which is not where it goes, and, oh, this is cool. Oh, I love eggnog. But, yeah. So, Jamie, as the kid is called, tells his dad he wants a Turbo Man doll. And supposedly, but this is the first time he's hearing about this Turbo Man doll. Because his wife already knew about it and asked him, you got the doll, right? Which leads to the Arnold, huh? Face that we get. And so was he supposed to already know about it? Because it seems like he was, but he didn't. He was supposed to. Well, then he goes on, it's a parody of the holiday shopping fiascos. Big toys like Cabbage Patch Kids, Power Rangers, and ironically, the same year as this, Tickle Me Elmo. Hi, hi. Got my own table here. But, anyway. So, because, for some reason, the hustle and bustle of the holiday shopping season isn't bad enough, he gets a sort of antagonist in that of Myron Larrabee, played by Sinbad. Now, growing up, Sinbad was kind of in my generation. He had this first kid. There's some other things that he was in. I can't remember right now, but he was in some things. And no, before you even start typing, he was not in a movie called Shazam where he played a genie. That never happened. Everybody keeps saying that. No, he did not star in that movie. It was a spoof. People got, that they called that the, what they called? The Mandela effect. It never really existed. It was a sketch, but people had taken it too far. When they gave Arnold an antagonist in Sinbad, and for the most part, it works. They're both after a Turbo Man doll. They're both fighting over it. Marin has this joke where he says this. He's a mailman. This package that he has is a bomb, but it's not. But then later, he does it again. Turns out to be an actual bomb. And I feel for Robert Conrad, who plays the cop in this. The director of this film must have not liked the Black Sheep Squadron. The director of this film must have not liked the Black Sheep Squadron, because this dude gets the fuck knocked out of him, whether it's bombs or coffee spilled on him or knocking over a motorcycle, getting his motorcycle knocked over. He goes through hell. And even at the end, when Arnold turns around and shows he's in a Turbo Man outfit, it's just like, oh, that Robert Conrad gives him. It's fine, may he rest in peace, but it's a funny part. Now, where we get to the unnecessary climax. At a certain point, Myron disappears from the movie. And before we get to that, I feel like I should address the smooth talker in the room. That being the late, great Phil Hartman as their neighbor, who seems like he means well, but he takes an unexpected left turn towards the end of the film, and all of a sudden he's all over Arnold's wife. And it's just like, I understand that he was kind of a weasel, and he was trying to weasel his way into her pants, but it never seemed like that's what he was really doing, until he just sort of turns a 180, and there it is, That's just so he could really be written out of the climax, where she does show up after it. We get to the unnecessary climax. So at some point, Myron disappears after the whole bomb thing, and he does his whole, there's some sick people in this world. Sick. He's gone. Right? And he's just not seen. And it seems like the writers are like, hey, or a director or someone's like, hey, wait a minute. We need Myron to come back to finish off, because there's no end to the story. But there could have been. Just... They could have done a news story where they say he got arrested because he ran into cops or something. They arrested him. Or because, at the end, you have, like I said, you have Robert Conrad talking to him. He said, hey, we arrested that crazy mailman. Who puts a real bomb in a Christmas present anyway? Something like that. But instead, so you have Arnold be confused for a stuntman to put on a Turbo Man outfit. He's out there, and the whole thing is that this Turbo Man gets to pick one lucky person from the audience in this parade to win a Turbo Man doll. And this is where it comes around. Full circle. He's tried to get this thing. Now he can finally do it. He has the doll, or the action figure, whatever. He gives it to Jamie, and that should be it. No, because somebody thought we need to have another conflict. And this whole conflict leads to the ruin of this movie. So we have Sinbad show up as the Turbo Man villain, Green Nutsack Man, or whatever his name is. And he shows up, more eggnog. Very good. Anyway, he shows up, says the Ta-Ta Turtle Man line, and chases Jamie around the place for what seems like forever. Turbo Arnold then decides to use his real fucking jetpack. A real jetpack. How is there a real jetpack in a parade? A parade, mind you, that keeps, the characters in this, They're in this parade. There's the crayons, Sesame Street, and Madeline, generic, Sonic the Hedgehog. It's probably the most well known in this, but you know, but he has a jetpack, I guess. And he's flying around and he saves Jamie. And then at the end, Arnold, he gets the toy, but he's like, oh, but I wish my dad was here. And Arnold's like, well, it's me, ta-da. And then, he's happy and everything. And then after all that, at the end, Myron gets arrested and he's yelled out, oh, my kid's going to be so disappointed. My kid's going to be so angry, so sad. And I'm like, good. You're a fucking idiot anyway. Your kid doesn't deserve anything you give him anyway. But no, little Mr. I Ruined Star Wars Episode 1 comes up and says, here, you can have mine because I have a Turbo Man at home. Fuck you, kid. Your dad has been trying for the whole goddamn movie to get you that toy. He gives it to you, and you give it to the guy who, by the way, you were just chasing you because you wouldn't give it to him because you wanted it so much. And now, all of a sudden be like, my dad's a Turbo Man at home. You decide, oh, I don't need the toy. Okay, here's what I would have done. My dad's Turbo Man. I would have walked over to Myron, smashed the fucking toy in front of him and said, there, I got a Turbo Man, and you don't. Because now he has the dad, but, he's got to give the costume back anyway, so it makes no sense. But, yeah, I think that Myron should have been arrested before the climax. Have the throwaway line from the cop saying, hey, he's been arrested. We arrested that crazy mailman. And that's it. Jamie gets his doll. Everything's great. But you know what? To me, this movie is decent. Gets a 7. It's fine with me. So, what are your thoughts on Jingle All the Way? Let me comment below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty. If you don't mind, I think my cookies are done. Oh, the cookies. Who told you could eat my cookies? The cookies! Put that cookie down! Now!